Welcome to a new Daily Top AskReddit video. Today's topic.
What's the fastest way you've ever seen a new coworker get fired? A coworker sent an email to a female team member that he had a dream the night before that they had gotten married and he impregnated her. She sat across from me and I literally saw her face as she read the email. A strange look came across her face, then she walked into the manager's office. She left the office and he got called in and less than a minute later was packing his things. I believe from start to finish it took less than 5 minutes for him to send the email and get fired. From start to finish it took less than 5 minutes for him, just like in his dream. My work, a water agency. One rotund fellow decided to share a humorous image with a female coworker via email of a man with only body paint made to look like an elephant's face. Long hanging trunk and all. He was gone in hours. Problem was that he was in several safety videos about what to do in an emergency. It became my job to cut him out of all media. Like he never existed. We disappeared him. That's one way to get rid of the elephant in the room. We hired a woman who turned out to be pretty abrasive. How she got hired, I have no idea. Our secretary was the sweetest lady in the office and never complained until this new hire talked with her for a few minutes. Right after talking to this horrible person, she approached the boss and said she would walk off the job if this new worker stayed on with us. By lunch, half the office was ready to walk off the job because of this abrasive person. She just had an utterly horrible way of talking to people that made him feel degraded and enraged. She was let go at the end of the day. Energy vampire. Colin Robinson has met his match. New guy offered to pull a semi-trailer to a dock for unloading. Said he did it in the army all the time. I told him, nah, you gotta get tested out by the safety guy first. Someone else will handle it. 5 minutes later, I see him pulling the trailer around anyway. Okay, I gotta go tell this dude he's fired 2 hours in. Before I could advise him of his updated employment status, the damn trailer came loose of the tractor. Slid right off the back. He did know how to drive a semi. He did not know how to check the trailer was locked in. He did not know how to check the trailer was locked in. Damn, if only you guys offered some sort of training for that. In his half-hearted defense, my army training to drive 6-axle, 5-ton trucks with trailers lasted a day and included 5 minutes of road time on base, and a quiet corner of base at that. We spent 10 solid minutes on trailer attachment. After that I got a piece of paper saying I could both service and operate these trucks on public roads. So his claim about doing it all the time in the army may not be completely false. You know, I was gonna fire you before the trailer came off, but now you're extra fired. New guy came into work hammered out of his mind and started trying to operate a forklift right in front of the regional safety manager. A lot of forklift certified and right in front of my OSHA handbook memes were shared that day. We had a forklift driver at my first job who got a remark from the safety manager when passing him in his forklift. Dude got so pissed he tried to run the safety manager over. I'm the safety manager now. Quote. New IT guy asked me, accountant, if he could use my company card to process payments. I asked what payments does a freshly hired IT guy have that accounting, purchasing can't take care of. His excuse was that the president emailed him personally asking for him to pay some invoices via some links he sent. Yup. IT guy fell for a phishing scam. Gone the following day. It was in that moment my company learned never have the director of finance oversee and hire for an IT-related role. For any business leaders reading this, don't put non-technical people in charge of hiring for technical jobs, and don't put the finance department in charge of IT. Both are recipes for a disastrous IT department. My boss hired this weird girl called Jen. Roy and I are so annoyed. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. We gave her a box and told her the internet was in it and she believed it. Exclamation mark. Worked in a sales call center about 10 years ago. Real brain dead work. New guy starts on a Monday morning. After he gets trained up on the basics, which takes about an hour, he gets assigned a desk and sets off to work. 30 minutes later, it looks like little puffs of steam are rising up from his computer monitor. Turns out he was vaping on one of those disposable e-cigarettes. The kind that sort of tried to look like real cigarettes. He gets told by the boss that we can't vape indoors. And if he wants to, he'll have to go outside to do it on a break. About 30 minutes later again, the same thing happens. He gets caught again, and is told in no uncertain terms that if he wants to keep his job, he'll stop vaping at his desk. An hour later, he gets caught hiding under his desk vaping, and is promptly fired, all before lunchtime. Dude could have just gone outside. Sounds like someone wanted to get fired. It's a possibility. Might have one of those dudes that speedruns a job so they can go back on unemployment for a few months without being asked questions. Unfortunately, I didn't keep in touch with the random office worker I shared a space with for 3 hours, so we'll never know. We had the same thing happen. I had a lady that worked for me that I warned repeatedly not to vape at her desk or indoors, but she Would not stop. The really weird part was it was an office setting and there was no one telling her when she could or couldn't take smoke breaks. All she had to do was get up and go outside for a few. But she just wouldn't stop vaping at her desk. After she ignored my third warning, we told her to pack up her vape and leave. Still one of the absolute weirdest things I've ever seen. Throwing away a decent job over vaping. Indoors.